When it was alone, the adults went outside. They wore jacket, gloves, boots, and hats.
Meet 8-year-old Bilal. Communicating is a major accomplishment for him. He has severe autism and has been receiving 30 hours of ABA therapy a week. But therapists who give children like Bilal therapy are sounding the alarm, saying massive layoffs are imminent. One therapist I spoke with over the phone today told me on Monday she and about 30 others were all called into the Geneva Center where they work, and the CEO told them that layoffs were going to happen sooner than later because they don't believe parents will be able to pay for therapy under the new Ford government changes. The clinical director of Shining Through is echoing those concerns. She is predicting thousands will be let go.
If this goes on, probably in the next few years, there's not going to be much ABA to purchase.
Really? Mm-hmm. Because nobody's going to have a job to be able to deliver it.
That's what it's like in Alberta. You know, families have money, but there's nothing to buy. We were on our way to being a model for behavioral intervention in the treatment of kids with autism. And I think that the investment over the last 20 years is being flushed down the toilet. It's heartbreaking and it's sad because it seems like there was no planning and no thought to what this may do.
Minister MacLeod did not speak to the media today. She exited the legislature through a side door, but I did receive a statement from her spokesperson. It reads in part, over the next 18 months, there will be 4 times as many children receiving support. We trust that providers will continue to provide quality care to meet the needs of the influx of children and youth seeking autism services.
I'm really scared because I worry about my son's future.
I'm upset, I'm angry, I'm frustrated.
And parents in Brampton braved the snow today to protest the Ford government's changes to the autism program that will eliminate the wait list but have more children receiving less therapy. And they had Lisa MacLeod's former boss come to show his support. Yes, that is Patrick Brown, the former PC leader and now mayor of Brampton. When Brown was opposition leader, he fought the Liberals for more autism funding, along with some of his MPPs, including now Minister Lisa MacLeod. He had some choice words for what the Ford government is doing. What is your objection to this plan? I mean, in theory, the Ford government says they're doing the right thing because they're clearing the wait list. What is your objection to this plan?
Well, it seems like an excuse to find savings, and I think the last area that we need to look for finding savings is, frankly, families that have already gone through 10 years, a decade, have been treated like a political football. I remember being on the lawn at Queen's Park with the entire PC caucus, many of them who are now on the front benches, when we made a commitment that
including Lisa MacLeod,
that we were going to fund ABA and IBI therapy. That there wasn't going to be, we weren't going to pick which children we were going to help. We were going to help all the children we could in the province of Ontario. If you don't help early on, it will cost more down the road.
Many parents are critical of the autism changes. They say that it should be based on need. Right now, under the new Ford government changes, that children will receive the same amount of therapy regardless of where they are on the autism spectrum. And coming up, I have a conversation with one parent who can speak to both sides of the scenario because he has 2 children on the opposite ends of the spectrum. I've been telling you about how autism therapists are concerned there's going to be mass layoffs because parents will not be able to afford the therapy once the Ford changes kick in. Under it, the wait list will be eliminated in 18 months, but children will receive the same amount of funding based on age, not based on need. Now, I'm going to introduce you to a man named Mike Moffat. He has 2 children. Both have autism, and one is low on the needs scale, the other is quite high. He's concerned they're going to receive the same type of funding regardless of their need. And he's also very concerned about the sliding scale, the clawback of the funding based on income. Some families are going to get a fraction of the cost.
With my daughter, we would be getting more support than we need. So we'd get this pot of money and maybe we go out and get a second iPad or something like that. It's not really all that useful. And for my son, it might pay for a couple, 2 or 3 weeks worth of therapy. It doesn't go nearly far enough. So that's a big problem, not just for parents, but also just for taxpayers. This is not a good way to be spending money. That money should be focused on need rather than just, giving lump sum checks to everybody. The formula doesn't consider where you live, and you have different costs of living all kinds of places. It doesn't consider a child's need. It doesn't consider how many other children you have. It doesn't consider whether or not it's, one parent family earning $100,000 or a 2-parent family earning $100,000. Imagine living in downtown Toronto, 3 kids earning $56,000 a year and having the government tell you that you're too rich to receive full support. Sorry, it simply doesn't fly. That doesn't make any sense. It's kind of one-size-fits-all formula, which might work for some people. In fact, give some people more money than they need. And for other families, it just scratches the surface. It does almost nothing. Big one is just the complexity here, that the government is sort of rolling out little pieces of information here or there, and families can't figure out what to make of it. There's no examples, there's no calculators. It doesn't talk about a family situation. So what if you're a divorced couple with shared custody? You actually don't know how this income test works. Like, is it the mom's income, the dad's income, some combination? We don't know. And there's less than 5 weeks before this goes live, and we know almost nothing about this. We still don't know what we can spend this money on, what types of treatments are eligible, what aren't. So families are panicking. We're looking for any information that we can get, and this government really isn't providing any answers.
Mike Moffat, by the way, is a respected economist. He has a PhD on the topic, and he's also the assistant prof at the Ivey Business School. These changes from the Ford government go into effect April 1.